So one of my kids, they're not kids anymore, was flying from one city to the other Erev Hanukkah, and he asked me the question, when are we supposed to light the Hanukkah? He wanted to know if, like in Shabbos, if we'll not be at home, you light it before. And so I gave him the answer that I'm sure many of you know. And the Talmud asked the question, when are we supposed to light the Hanukkah? And the answer is, Mi shetishke chama at shetichle regel min ashuk, which in English means, from the time the sun set till the time there is nobody in the market. Here market, now he understands, because nobody's in the market. So what does it mean? Sunset represents our connection to nature. Market is our connection with people's reality. People reality, did I say? Who is in the market in these days? So what does it mean this year to light the candles for us? The second Hanukkah after October 7. So I go again to the Talmud and I found the second question. When is the mitzvah being fulfilled? When do we perform the commandments? When we light the candle or when we place the Hanukkah? In the Talmudic wording, adlaka osa mitzvah or anacha osa mitzvah. When is the mitzvah being consummated? Through the enthusiasm of lighting or when we place the Hanukkah at the window to remember the story of Hanukkah, the story of hope and redemption and rededication. I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but in the actual story of Hanukkah, the oil doesn't make even a small appearance. The real miracle is the voicing of the voiceless. The small band of Jews who managed to overtake those who were trying to silence them. They reclaimed the Holy Temple and the ancient culture. They did not fall to bigotry and intolerance. And while God helped, it would not have occurred without the dedication of human beings. I want to pause here for a second. You know, every year I receive the same comments, especially from people who are Jews by choice, who decided to choose Judaism. And I remember when I came to America, I was impressed. You come to the mall and you see the big tree near the menorah. And it's a very powerful, beautiful image of togetherness. And I love that. And it moves me, especially when I came from a country who now is doing very good when it comes to Jews, but wasn't the history always. But I also tell the same people who get so moved by the idea of the two symbols together that they represent completely opposite theologies. And let me explain that. What is the tree? Now I will be priest Rojzman, okay? Just por un poquitito. That's a shame, because if somebody jumps to live stream now, he will say we need to close the place because they have... Okay, so I'm priest Rojzman for a second. What is Christmas? Christmas is God, in an act of mercy, sending his son, a beautiful newborn baby, to save human beings because they cannot be saved by themselves. So God, in an act of mercy, will sacrifice his own son for you and for me. And only when that kid will die, salvation will come. What's the story of Hanukkah? The story of Hanukkah is that Jews used to beg God, please, 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 all the Greeks do not allow us to keep kosher and to study Torah and to do... And there's a moment that the Maccabees said, enough is enough, asking God. It looks like he will not intervene. Let's do our job. And the light appeared only when the Maccabees by themselves did the job. So in one story, you can't without him. In the other story, he will appear only when you show that you can. So it's beautiful to have them together only if you understand that in one there is action required immediately. And this is our message for 2024, 2025 in Hanukkah. On October 7, for 6 and 10 hours, we were hanging there. While some may have in past generation and even sadly recent times believed that our voice was doomed to remain silent forever, the miracle again occurred, and those voices are being heard again. Which brings me to the following story that I read last week from Rabbi Laufer. One day a student asked the rabbi, "Rabbi, I note that to be a Jew is to have a special role, a special job in the world. Rabbi, what is that job?" The rabbi, who did not want to answer directly, looked at his student and said, "Friends, what's the most important job in the world?" One jumped, "President of the United States." Someone shouted, "Prime Minister of Israel." Another said, "Rabbi." Well, he was trying for a good grade. "Firefighter," said another one. "Doctor, teacher, artist, parent." The answers came from all corners of the room. The student looked at the rabbi and said, "But Rabbi, what is the right answer? What is my job as a Jew in the world?" And the rabbi answered, "Once upon a time, long before iPads and iPhones, before TV and streaming and Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook, even before there was electricity, there was a person in every town who was responsible for lighting up the streets. On the street corners, lamps sat, ready to bleed each night as the sun began to set. And there was one person whose job was to walk from street to street, from lamp to lamp, with a flame he carried at the end of a long pole. Each evening, the rabbi said, this person will walk his route, lighting each and every lamp, no matter how cold it was or how hard it was to reach. But what if the lamp is in a desolate wilderness, far from everything and everyone? One of the students asked, and the rabbi answered, then too, it must be lit. And what, asked one of the students, if the lamp is in the middle of an ocean? The rabbi smiled and said, the one must put on a bathing suit, jump into the water, and light it there. Without it, the rabbi said, there will be no light. So the student looked again at the rabbi and said, Rabbi, I still don't know the right answer. What is my job as a Jew in the world? And the rabbi looked at his student and said, you can be anything that you want to be. But no matter what you decide to do with your life, you must be a lamp lighter on the streets of the world. Hanukkah 2024, the second Hanukkah after October 7th. Hanukkah is more about the holy act of placing the Hanukkah than the excitement of lighting them with family and friends this year. So did one little cruse of oil really burn for 8 days? I don't know. That's not why I celebrate Hanukkah. For me, Hanukkah is about hope and courage and a willingness to take action. It's not at all surprising that Israel's national anthem, titled La Tikva, the hope. Israel was not founded on miracles. It was built on hope in the face of despair. As long as a Jewish heart beats, our hope will not be lost. Those are the words of Atikva. Or as David Ben-Gurion said, anyone who doesn't believe in miracle is not a realist. I will light the Hanukkah again tonight, each day. But this year I will pay attention to how I place it, because to spread light when outside looks so dark, that's the real miracle. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.